Welcome back, everyone. So Ariel Castro, he had a chance, he had a right to talk yesterday, but what he said was strange, and some people might even say it was offensive. Although he pleaded guilty to 937 different charges, including rape and murder and kidnapping, he says he's not a monster. He says that he's a family man who couldn't control his sex addiction. He says he's sick. This is a sampling of what he said.
What I'm trying to get is that these people are trying to paint me as a monster, and I'm not a monster. I'm sick. My sexual problem has been so bad on my mind. I'm impulsive. I'm a happy person inside. I'm not trying to make excuses here. I know I'm 100% wrong for doing it, but I'm just saying, they're trying to say that I'm a violent person. I'm not a violent person. Most of the sex that went on in the house, probably all of it, was consensual. These allegations about being forceful on them, that is totally wrong.
Let's try to understand what's going on here. Joining us now from Chicago is clinical psychologist Sheela Raja. Sheela, thanks so much for joining us right now. What do you make of that performance? What do you think he was trying to do there in court?
Well, and I think the word performance is exactly correct. I'm so happy to talk about something that's so important as a topic. Basically, I think it was very manipulative. You know, there are small grains of truth in some of the things he said, like, oh, I watch so much violent porn all the time. It took a toll on the way I see women, the way I see sex. Sure. But you know what? This is not a man that shares the same conscience that you and I do. You know, this is a man that does not have a moral compass.
You say it was manipulative. We should point out that one of the women that he abused and tortured for so long was in the courtroom at the time. Who was he trying to manipulate there?
Well, I think it's another form of trying to abuse these women. I mean, he did it physically, but let's not overlook the psychological abuse that these women have suffered by, you know, propagating rape myths, you know, saying things like, well, they weren't virgins, you know. I hope that everybody watching who was just as shocked and disgusted by these statements, the way that we can help these women heal on a larger level as a community is to challenge statements like that. You know, there are not good victims and bad victims. It doesn't matter whether someone was a virgin, not a virgin, short skirt, not a short skirt, drinking, not drinking. And those are the kinds of things where he's trying to make them feel like they're responsible for their own victimization. And it's so wrong.
He says he's not a monster. He claims that he's sick. Really?
You know, again, I think that there's probably a level of psychopathology there, but, you know, this is clearly a man, like I said, that doesn't have the same moral compass as you and I, and is clearly a threat to public safety. And so, you know, you can decide whether he's fit to live with the rest of us. I think most of us would say absolutely not.
Sheila, let me ask you one last question here. Michelle Knight, as we said, she was in the room. What must have that been like for her? How can she stay strong in the face of a display like that from Ariel Castro?
Yeah, she is so incredibly brave and resilient for doing that. And I think she pointed out so many things where obviously these victims are going to have lifelong issues with trust, with fear, with anxiety, and there are good evidence-based treatments that can help them with that. But I think in addition, you know, she mentioned having a strong support system. She mentioned having a sense of life purpose. You know, now she wants to reach out and help other victims, other people that are hurting and suffering. And I hope that, you know, we as a culture also get out there and challenge these things and say, again, no good victims, no bad victims. We are with you, and, you know, we'll stand with you.
Great points. Sheela Raja, thank you so much for your insight. Really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you.
24 minutes after the hour.